Hello there, Virgo. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of May the 2nd through the 8th. We are going to be pulling one card for each day to see what actually shows up as far as a highlight for the day. We might even see a theme through the week. We'll find out as we go through these cards. Thank you guys very much for being here. While I'm shuffling, let me just remind everybody that this is a general reading, meaning that not everything I see here is going to apply to every single Virgo who watches this video. However, most of what shows up will apply to most of you. Okay? If you guys want a private reading, if you have some questions, if you want to know more about this reading, or if you have questions about other things, I do offer private readings. You can find out how to get a hold of me for one of those using my contact information at that website right there at the top of the screen. Let's jump into your cards. So, Saturday, Virgo, we have the King of Cups, someone you're interacting with on Saturday. And Sunday, you have the Two of Wands showing up. We're going to talk about these cards, and then we'll look at the week's cards and then go back and talk about each of those. So, Saturday, King of Cups, Virgo, this is somebody that you are interacting with on Saturday. And so, this is going to be somebody who is very comfortable with their feelings. They know how to express them, they know how to hide them, they know how to release them when that's an important thing to do. But they're also really good at understanding other people's feelings and things like relationship dynamics and things like that. And I feel like, Virgo, you may be getting some kind of, I don't know if it's exactly relationship advice, but maybe some kind of emotional advice from this person on Saturday as you hang out with them. Now, Sunday, Two of Wands showing up in reverse. This just tells me that you have a decision in front of you, and whatever you decide with this decision will be just fine. All your options are good options, but there is somebody who is sort of expecting you to go with one option or another. And because of that expectation, you're kind of feeling like you sort of have to. I don't know. To me, that feels like it might be a little bit of people pleasing going on rather than actually looking at yourself and figuring out what do you want to do. So the advice with this card is I just want to encourage you to really look at your options and figure out which one, if nobody else was a part of the influence for you, which one would you really want to go with? And that way, if you choose the same one that the other person would like you to go with, or the other person's in some cases, then that's okay because now you've made that choice. You didn't get pushed into it, it was your choice, and it makes it much more enjoyable. But if what you really want to go for is something else, now that person or persons has to figure out, are they happy for you to be happy? Or are they happy to manipulate you? What is actually going on with them? And so that may come out if you happen to be more interested in something that they don't think you should choose. Okay. But I like the idea of empowering yourself to the point of making a decision about what's best for you, because really, the long and the short of it is at the end of our lives, we're going to have to answer for what decisions we made and how we spent our time. And the person who is trying to steer you towards one direction or another, they don't have to answer for that for you. Only you do. So choose something that is going to be worth defending. That's my theory that I apply to my life anyway. You can take my opinion and pitch it if you want. It is what it is. Okay? Let's see. Monday's card shows up as the Queen of Swords. Tuesday's card matches that King of Swords. Who am I reading for, Virgo? Why do you have so many swords in your spread? Interesting. And then Wednesday, Three of Swords in reverse. I like this card in reverse. Thursday, you have the World card. And Friday, you have the Strength card in reverse. We'll get to that. Okay. Let me see what's going on with all these people. This is interesting. So on Monday, you've got your Queen of Swords coming up, Virgo. I do think this is somebody that you're interacting with, and this could be somebody who is providing a service for you, or you are getting advice from. This is somebody who's going to be very detail oriented, somebody who maybe does accounting or maybe is a lawyer. This could also even be somebody who does like promotions, like somebody who will take on promotional campaigns for other people and be in charge of those. I'm not quite sure. Social media manager maybe would be a title. But there's somebody here that's very detail oriented and that looks at things very logically, that you're interacting with, possibly getting a service from, but definitely interacting with. You may even be having a kind of a let me get to know you type of interview situation where this may be the first time you're sitting down with this person to decide if you want to use their services or not. And Tuesday, we have the King of Swords. I really think this is you on Tuesday, and you're just paying a lot of attention to detail, but you're also making a strategy or a plan around something so that you can move forward and meet some type of goal. Wednesday, Three of Swords coming up in reverse. This feels like a completely different topic than what we were talking about Monday and Tuesday. This feels like there's something that has broken your heart in the past, or at least brought you some heartache. And now what I'm hearing is you're finding some closure around that situation. Okay. I like it when we find closure. If a situation is over, the only non-cruel thing to do is to have closure. All right, let's look at Thursday. I like Thursday's card. It's the World. This just tells me that whatever it is that you have been working to bring to a conclusion, you have finally been able to do that. So whether this has been taking a seminar, a course, or a class at university, whatever, you're closing that up, bringing it to an end. Doesn't have to do with education. This can be another phase of your life that you've been working to have over with. Maybe you've been working to pay off all your debts and you're able to complete that on Thursday. That would be an end to that. But there's an end to something that you have been wanting to end. It's an ideal thing that it's ending, which allows you to step into the next chapter of your life. And then, boop, Friday. Strength card coming up in reverse. Strength card in reverse basically says that on Friday, you're going to find yourself doing something that you're not that good at, or that somebody may sort of be pushing your buttons to get you into a situation that does not put you in your best light. So maybe somebody is triggering you and you're feeling very frustrated by that. And then you say some things that maybe in retrospect you kind of wish you hadn't said. Maybe they weren't the most professional, or maybe they were just, just triggered words, which are never our best choice. And so I want you to be really careful on Friday to recognize, like if you're starting to feel triggered, to recognize that and pull back and just go into observer mode and just shush it down. Much easier said than done, I know. So that you don't find yourself saying some things that you don't wish you would not have later on, okay? Because when that strength card comes up in reverse, this is not really our best moment. This is not our proudest moment that we're going to shout about from the rooftops. Let's say it that way, okay? So you guys are in control of your own thoughts, your own emotions. You guys are in control of the words that come out of your mouth, okay? Take control of them. Don't let the words take control of you, because we don't want those repercussions. All right. So that's what we have for the week, Virgos. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I do appreciate all of your kind support. I know I'll see a few of you here for readings this week, but the rest of you I'll see back on the next video. Peace out.